What is going on, everyone? Me, Steve Egvar, your host for this week's Creature Cast, the official Console Creatures podcast. This week, I'm joined none other than my good pal Bobby. How are you this week?
I'm fantastic. 5:30 on a Wednesday, and it's so nice outside. So
Gorgeous.
I'm feeling good. I mean, I have no complaints. So how about you?
Good. Yeah. We're recording a little bit early. Just got back from the gym. Feeling good.
The
Feeling
game?
energized. The game. Yeah, feeling energized today. Feeling like this is going to be a good episode. Yeah. I mean, it's another week, so I'm just happy I get to hang out with you. That's all.
I know it feels like it's been forever, and it might be a little bit longer because I'm about to throw some shade towards a couple of people that forgot to schedule their calendars.
Oh, who could
We're not
that
gonna name
be?
any names,
No.
but they know that they've embarrassed me one more time this week. So shame on you guys
Shame,
for
shame, shame,
shame. But
shame
that's
on.
fine. That's fine. I have Steve. That's all I need.
That's
Steve
all we
Monday's
need.
the only man in my life I need.
Right back
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
I'll shame everyone and retract a little bit of shame from Matt from PlayStation Generation, who actually joined me for an interview with the Serious Bros, developer of Imagine City. They released their city builder game on PlayStation Switch and Mac OS this week, so we got to sit down with the developers. That's the only reason I will shame Matt a little less, because he came out, he joined me for that interview. It was a very good interview. People can check it out on podcast services, our YouTube channel as well.
Yep. He went to bat for us. So you know what? Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. But
The other
Dave
the
Fort,
other yeah, no.
no.
No. Those geriatrics need to just retire.
Well, they got to just put stuff in their calendar, you know? Who knew a month leeway to schedule a day for us to all hang out, get
I
together.
know. I know. I am glad we're publicly shaming them though, so that when they hear this and everyone else hears this, they know
Yeah,
not to
definitely.
invite these people to parties because they won't show
Right.
up.
I want everyone who's listening to this to go to Court and Dave's Twitter accounts. We'll have their links in the description of this, and I want them to go for shame. That's all.
Yeah, shame them.
Don't say for whatever else, but just for shame, and they'll know. They'll know
Yep.
exactly what they did.
Good. That's all I have to say about them. For now, we have more important things to talk about.
That's it. Yeah, we
That's
got games to talk about, and I'll throw it to you first. I want to know, what have you been playing? What's been occupying your time since last week?
So I'm still playing through a specific game I can't talk about, but
Okay.
I can't wait to talk about it. I think we'll be doing that maybe in a week. But other than that, I've been playing, just trying to clear up Rise of the Ronin and get that platinum because it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like it's we've already talked about it. Our reviews are live. You can listen to it, you can read it. But going back to it a month and a half later, it's just so good to be back in this game and playing through Team Ninja's next game. It's just a lot. It's fun. That's all it is. It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
Spending time with the story, it's rolling off my back. I probably don't really care for it, but
I don't think you need to. That's the thing.
you don't need to. Exactly,
Yeah,
but like it's just fun. It's just like it's satisfying fighting people, dueling other Ronin, doing some of the co-op missions with other people online. It's pretty fun, but it's having a blast. I'm just going around collecting all the treasure chests, petting all the cats, which I do like the fact that some of them will sit you and run away.
Yeah.
Very on par for cats. So I mean, great addition. And yeah, it's basically I'm decking out my samurai in some really fine duds, and he looks very dapper and like really like he looks like he's ready to take on the world, and then go to the bar after. So like it's a great game. I really encourage people to keep playing it. I mean, it's old at this point, but play it. Like if you find it for on sale, buy it. It's a great Souls-like Team Souls game.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I've been just clearing up old games. I have Endless Ocean. I'm just trying to finish up from a review last week. I'm just trying to get some more of the fish species covered. And yeah, I just updated my Steam Deck just to get some new stuff on there. I mean, I just added a bunch of old games now. I've been revisiting my PS2 library, ripping games, putting them on there.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have about like 12 games I added on there. So a bunch of classic JRPGs that like are just so hard to find. You can't play them on modern consoles. So it's been fun to just have them primed and ready to go until maybe the end of the month when I start playing them. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. Um,
Going back to Rise of the Ronin quickly, I just wanted to know now that you're, on your tail end of the game, getting into the platinum run and everything, how far are you? And like, what does your platinum progression look like in terms of the trophies?
Oh, I don't. It's just like odds and ends, really. I'd probably have to
Yeah.
look it up. But like, I've got the major ones. It's just collectibles, and I think is there a difficulty trophy? I think there might be one, but
There is for completing one mission on the
yeah, that's the one I
difficulty
have
that
to do.
unlocks after you beat the game.
So I think that's basically all I have left to do. Like, I'm just gonna look it up right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not really
Um,
tracking it. I'm just kind of like finding
that's
things to do, and they pop up as I'm going. So it's like
yeah.
I think the difficulty on this trophy, it's rated a 3 out of 10 on power pick, so like that's pretty straightforward. It takes about 50 hours to finish it.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's not bad at all. There's a few grindy ones at the very end, especially when you're talking about, like, the difficulty one. Honestly, it's very easy by the time you get to max level 50 or whatever.
yeah,
It basically still like playing on easy when you go back to earlier levels.
yeah,
The other thing I wanted to bring up while you're looking up your trophy list is that, um, they released, their, Koei Tecmo put out their, financial report of the last quarter, and they
yeah.
talked about how Team Ninja, um, the sales are now surpassing the Neo series, not even just Neo 1 or Neo 2, just the
That's
Neo series.
surprising. That's super
That's
surprising.
huge.
So I mean, that just kind of tells you people want these kind of games.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have Rise of the Ronin in March, and now you have Ghost of Tsushima coming to PC in
Hmm.
a week. So
Oh my god. Yeah.
it's gonna do gangbusters. It's gonna sell really well on Steam. So I mean, yeah, just go actually look at my trophy list right now. I have a couple Bond missions to finish. I
Hmm.
need to do a couple more fugitives, and that's basically it. And then that
Wow.
difficulty trophy. So there's not much left to do.
No.
It's just a simple game, in terms of trophy. So like, I'm really happy. I've abandoned Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm not doing that platinum. That game does not deserve any more time. It's a 9 out of 10 in everything else, but it's trophies. That's a 0. Like, it's just, it doesn't respect the player's time. It doesn't respect just like anything about the trophy list. Like, it's just such a like archaic trophy list, something you would find like when trophies first came out.
Yeah.
And any game where you have to play the entire game on like 3 or 4 difficulties is just stupid. Like, just
That is
don't
silly.
do that. Like, why do you need to do that? Like, I like the way that Rise of Ronin is doing it. All you have to do is do one mission and
Hmm.
on the hardest difficulty, and that's it. You're good.
Yep.
So Square, if you're looking, follow what Team Ninja's doing, because like, honestly, I'm seeing people on Reddit on the FF7 subreddit, and everyone's like obviously getting their platinum, but like, I'm seeing their playtime and like their frustrations, and like, no, that's not worth it to me. Like, you gave them this amazing experience, and then you decide to like shoehorn in like some of the worst trophies I've seen in recent memory. So it's like, no, I've abandoned it. I'm good for now. I will probably revisit it when it comes to PC, but for now, like,
Got it.
I'm satiated. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's a great segue into what I've kind of been playing. Well, at least one of the games, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm still going through it slowly but surely. I mean, I've had a bunch of detractors along the way over the last couple of months, whether it be
Yep.
Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Dragon's Dogma 2, and everything that's kind of in between all of those. So I'm kind of right there with you, where I've now hit the point where I no longer want to do the side missions in this game. And I'm in, is it called Cosmo Canyon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would do the side missions just because like they actually do, they are worth, like, they do add to the story. They
they
give
do.
you, they do
Yeah.
add things to it, but just do those and move on. Like, I wouldn't really worry about like the mercenary board or
Hmm.
collectibles. Like, just focus on the main story and the actual side quests that are in the menu. So if you focus on that, like, your playtime will still be pretty reasonable. So
Yeah. I
I would
just
just do it. Yeah,
I feel like I've overkilled myself with this game because up until this point now, reaching chapter 11, I've done literally everything on the map. Like I'm hitting every single they have the
yeah,
progression dots and everything, every single area with the exception of some of the
yeah. You got to
um
come back for
you
them. I
gotta
mean,
come back. You gotta do yeah. So with the exception of that, done them all, done all the Queen's Blood. Like I'm doing like a full completionist run. But now at Cosmo Canyon, I got there and it was like, oh, you have like the flying
chocobo.
challenges
Yeah,
and stuff. I was like,
yeah.
I can't be doing this anymore. It's been almost 4 months of this. I have to finish this game. And it's just
Yeah.
it's
In
just
that case,
wearing me down.
mainline it. If you're not going to do it, mainline it. But like
Yeah.
they do, side missions do add like they do. I guess give you like a personal, intimate look at these
They do.
characters. So, like,
Yep.
the Red 13 stuff is probably stuff I would recommend, and it's not that long. So I mean, if you do it, I mean, I would just like I said, if you focus on just those two things, the side missions and the main missions, I would
Mm.
skip everything else because like you're still gonna get the best experience from that. Everything else is just it's busy work and it's not
It's
worth doing.
so
So,
busy work, and if I
but
was 12 years old, this game would
oh,
literally be
blow
the
my
best
mind,
game ever made
and that's what
with
happened,
how much content.
and that's exactly what it was like in '97 when the game came out. Like when I was that age, I was what like 9,
Mhm.
so it blew my mind. Like it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I played the demo I think 1,000 times before I got the game. So
Yeah.
if I was 12 now, I would probably shit my pants and lose my mind.
Yeah, but
And that's just what happens, right? I mean, when you play a game that's just like transmutates your brain to this like receptor for entertainment. That's
yeah.
basically what it is. Like it's like a direct link to what you're playing, and you just and it's just feeding you everything, and it's great. But
Absolutely. If there was ever a game that someone purchased and that was going to be their game, like the only game that they purchased this
yeah,
year, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, I think, the best game to do that with. There's so much content that you can just like kind of like chip away at, and then whether or not you want to just mainline the story and then come back for side content or to
yeah,
go about it as you go along through the game. I think there's like a dearth of just stuff to do with varying, interest levels, intrigue levels, and stuff like that. Some side stuff like for Condor, I couldn't give a shit less about. But then there's also like actual side content, like substantive, like side story content that I really
yeah.
dug.
It's great. Like that
Yeah.
stuff is great. Like I did like the Fort Condor stuff. I mean I am a fan of it.
Mm.
It's like the original. If you play the original, you'll kind of understand why. So like if you didn't, then it's probably not for you. But it's just like the small stuff. Like I did like the Red 13 Rocket League game. I liked
Yes, absolutely.
that was great. Like I love the stuff in Cosa del Sol, and like I
Mhm.
did like all the mini games at Gold Saucer. I believe you've already hit that point, but like
Oh yeah, well, way past.
yeah, so like everything there is great. Um, I just I've said this numerous times. I hate the 3D brawler game. That is the stupidest game they've ever
Yes.
added to any Final Fantasy game, just because you can't tell what's happening. Like you have to
Nope.
like pause before they punch, and it's like
Hmm.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and that's something you need to get to platinum. And I just couldn't get past the last boss. I'm actually fighting Sephiroth because he's like
Sephiroth, yeah, I've seen the trophy guide for it, and yeah, that honestly, that was the moment when they introduced that game in Golden Saucer where I started hitting that
yeah,
wall, and I'm like, I don't like this anymore. I don't like
yeah,
how much content that they're just throwing at me. That's
yeah.
not resonating with me. I think part of it was just how many games are in Golden Saucer, but that
It's
one in particular was the one where I was like, I this is grating me too much now.
I'm just disappointed. Yeah, that's the thing, and I'm disappointed that they um didn't update it or make it a little bit more streamlined or
Mm.
give you more signs. Like in Batman when you're about to get hit, like you get that like that little indicator over his head, like
Yeah, like
flashing.
the red, yellow,
Yeah,
blue, then you know
at
how to
least something.
counter it. Yep.
Yeah, so like at least know which way to go. So like that would make this game a lot more palpable. But I don't care. You know what? At this point, I'm at like 200 hours. I got
Oh
what
my
I wanted
god.
from this game. Yeah, it it is it is what it is. I spent a lot of time in this game. I played it twice, and then we aren't even talking about like the optional brutal legend fights. Those are ridiculous, and you really have to plan everything. You have to plan your party, you have to plan your material, you have to plan what weapons you're using, you have to plan what items you have, and sometimes you can't even use items. So it's like, well, not worth it to me.
That
So
sounds like an absolute nightmare.
I mean,
That,
kudos
like,
to
does
everyone who
not
did
sound
it.
fun at all.
I mean, if I had nothing else to play, I'm sure it would be fun, but
Yes,
there's just too
correct,
much
yeah.
to play. At this point, it's like I don't want to waste any more time in this game.
I
It
would
launched,
much rather play a different
yeah.
game, yeah.
I'm playing like 5 games right now, and like that's pretty average for me. I hate to say it, but like there's just too much going on, and like I'm giving every game like a couple hours a day throughout the day, and like it works. I can get playtime on these games, but like I'm not gonna add a 6th game like FF7 where I literally need to spend 4 or 5 hours prepping,
Right.
learning the boss strategy, learning how to counter these moves, and it's like, no, I'm done with that. Like it's a great game. It's probably the best Final Fantasy game I've ever played, but no, I'm done with it. It's served its purpose to me. I just want part 3, and I want to see what they're gonna do with it, and then like I'm good. And then we can move on to FF8 remake, which is probably gonna be the best remake of all time.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Big words. I am curious though, ballpark, if I'm in chapter 11, how much longer do I have?
Well, chapter 12 is short, 13's pretty long, and then 14's like the final chapter. So
Oh.
I would say about like another 10 hours,
Oh, interesting. Wow, okay.
maybe
Huh.
12. Conservatively, I'd say about 10,
I don't know
12
why,
to
but
14.
I thought there were more chapters, but okay.
The first game had 19 chapters.
Yeah, and I thought
This
maybe it
one,
was something comparable.
I thought it was going to be, then chapter 14 it ends. And I mean, 12 is just a kind of like a series of flashbacks, and then 13 you get to the Temple of the Ancients, and that's where everything kind of, clears.
Got it.
So yeah, I if you're at that point, your breaking point, just rush through it at this point.
Yeah,
It is worth getting to the end because it does do a really good job um, building up to what it does. But
cool.
I'm working on a couple articles to just dissect the ending and what I think. So like I'm gonna try and post that soon. It's a really touchy subject for a lot of people. It's very obtuse, and there's just no clear indicator of what's actually happening. So I'm just trying to dissect
Interesting.
it through. Yeah, I've literally spent the last like month and a half dissecting the books that came out for Final Fantasy VII and making sense of what happens. But like I think I found something that makes sense without breaking the canon, and I'm hoping to post it soon. I think it'll probably be sometime this month. It's gonna be
Cool.
good. I'm actually looking forward to posting it.
No, that sounds awesome. I know, yeah, I've started seeing a lot more outlets and channels start posting their, spoiler
Yeah.
cast or spoiler thoughts, and now I'm getting to the point where, yeah, I am itching to just get through it. Luckily, I have had nothing spoiled about this game, so I'm interested to now get through it and then start reading and listening to essays, just like I did with the first one with remake. Because after getting through the end of that one, I was like, "What's going on? Okay, let's
Yeah,
let's hear
that's the
from
thing.
people who actually know what they're talking about."
I really don't want to like touch too much on it just because I'm sure some people are either still
Yeah.
playing it or they played it, but I don't think it's a multiverse. Everyone's kind of alluding to that, and it
Oh,
feels like that's what everyone's saying. It's a multiverse, but
even me. That's what I had in my head. I was like, "Oh, this is multiversal shit."
I don't think it is. And like I'll explain it in my whole article, but basically, if you have to read 2 books. You have to read On the Way to a Smile, which is like a book set after Advent of Children, which is the movie that launched like 20 years ago,
Mhm.
and it just tells you what happened to Aerith and Sephiroth after the events of the game and what they're doing.
Hmm.
And it plays into the whole live stream and everything. And I mean, if you know what the live stream is, you kind of understand that it's not just um, a power source, it's like everything. It
Right.
legitimately is a life source. It does a lot of things. Like it provides life, it provides food, it provides shelter. Everyone uses it for different things, but in this scenario, the live stream is a portal to different realms. And that's what the multiverse thing, that's what you're seeing, I think. And my take on it is every time something happens in the game, it's not a multiverse, it's the live stream showing you another path of what could happen or what could have happened at this situation.
Hmm.
And you're just seeing the flash, like the remnants of a different timeline that could have existed in the live stream.
Interesting.
It's very like intricate. It's just there's a lot to it. It's the lore. It's all in the lore. If you know the story of Final Fantasy VII, the lore is there. You just have to look for it because people. I don't blame them. You play the game and you move on because really, who wants to go find a movie from 20 years ago and then read a book that launched a couple years after that and then find another book from a couple years ago and have to find it? No. So yeah, it's the expanded lore, and that's kind of what Square Enix has always said, is that they're gonna adapt the compilation series into one game, and we've been seeing that. So if you kind of know what the compilation is,
Got it.
which is a couple mobile games, Crisis Core, all that, it's all there. You just have to find it, and like, that's the hardest part, is finding everything. But
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll post it soon. It'll make sense. I'll make a promise. I'll try and make sense of it. I found someone who's been helping me work through
Cool.
the ending in a way that makes sense, and there's proof to back it up. So it's just taking time to assemble it. But like, I feel like it'll probably help paint a better picture of what's happening.
Sick. No, I can't wait for that because I have a vague understanding of everything you just said, but yeah, hopefully by the time I reach the end of the game, I'll have a better understanding and then can look at what you post and a whole bunch of other people are posting too because I'm interested, very interested.
It's a good series. It's a good team. It's just it's just something you really have to invest a lot of time in. And
sure,
like I said, who has the time these days?
I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
I'll let. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. Back to you, Bobby. Have you been playing anything else? Like, have you been dipping your toes in anything that you could talk about?
What did I just buy? So I actually just bought. I actually have to go to my Steam library. So I just bought a couple games because I bought all the Fallout games. So I bought Fallout 1, 2, Tactics. I bought everything. I'm gonna revisit them just because I need to. I feel like it's due. I've been craving Fallout. I know we've always said this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dive into it. I got Fallout 76 loaded on my Steam Deck. I'm playing that. I actually have to look at my PlayStation just because I like I said, I'm juggling 5 games and it's hard. It's hard to keep track of what I want to do, but let me pull it up quickly.
Yeah. Take your time.
Ooh, I'm wrapping up Sandland. Sorry, I just finished Sandland, which is on Disney Plus. So it's the Akira Toriyama's manga / anime.
Yep.
I'm just wrapping up my review. It's been a long time. It's been like a couple weeks. I just put on the back burner because a couple of other more prioritized games that came out, and I had to finish those. But it's a great game. It's like a third person vehicular brawler where you're just playing as Beelzebub, this demon who's trying to save the world by finding water for everybody. And the best starting point I would say is go on Disney Plus, watch the new adaptation, which is kind of like a 3D. If you watched Dragon Ball's Heroes, I think it's the new one with
Super.
Not Dragon Ball Super. I gotta look it up. Dragon Ball Gohan. Dragon Ball Superhero. So it's like that 3D movie that came out.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Okay.
It's that kind of. It's got that kind of aesthetic, but it's basically it's on Disney Plus. The first 6 episodes are a retelling of the manga. The game does the same thing. The first couple chapters are basically retelling the manga in a new perspective, and then the other half of the game just kind of basically bridges the new content that Akira Toriyama was working on before he passed. And it's a great little game. I mean, obviously, it's sad that we lost him, and like, whatever he kind of left is kind of his legacy. But like, I kind of fell in love with the Sandland series. Like, it's really cool. Akira Toriyama had a love for cars. You can see it, and his designs have always been like supreme. Like his designs of characters, of
vehicles too. I've always loved his.
And that's kind of what this game is. Like, it's just a bunch of vehicles he created, and you're just driving them around. So you can drive like a tank, you can drive bikes, you can drive a whole bunch of stuff, and you can just customize them. So you're driving through this desert on a tank, and it's got Gatling guns, and you add boosters to it, so you can go faster in the desert, and you're just basically you're fighting different enemies in these tanks, and it's just a cool little game. It's different from Dragon Ball. It's very opposite from what Dragon Ball is, but it's fun. It's a short game. It's about 40 hours, and that's pretty short these days. So
yeah,
I wrapped it up. It's cool. It's nothing obviously right home about the stories. It's kind of tropey, but I mean it's more Kira Toriyama. That's kind of why I wanted to play it, and it's been great. And yeah, it's out now. That's basically it. I have a couple other things I'm about to start. I have Sea of Thieves. I'm going to start playing that again.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
because on PlayStation, I know Court reviewed that for us, but I'm going to dip my toes back in. I want to do the Pirates of the Caribbean story missions because I started them on Xbox. Yeah, I started them on Xbox, and then I don't know what happened. I think something came out right after it that kind of just
that's fair.
Sidelined it, but I'm going to do it on PlayStation. I want to get those missions done because everyone's saying they're good, and I believe there's. Yeah, and I think there's a Monkey Island crossover as well. I want to do those. And then
I've never done those ones. I was saying to some other people that when they released the Pirates of the Caribbean content, that was the moment that I was like, oh, Sea of Thieves has reached its full potential. Like now I finally understand what Sea of Thieves can and should be. Because I remember playing it day one and still liking it for what it was, but it was very kind of bare bones in a way. You could tell that, they had a core concept and could just build from there. Sea of Thieves jumping into that and just seeing, obviously there was many more updates and quality of life improvements between that, but just seeing that kind of like all culminate in this very, very structured and linear kind of set of missions and stuff like that. It was like, oh my goodness. And honestly, the last mission of the Pirates of the Caribbean like storyline is some of the coolest stuff Xbox has ever put out. Like I was blown away by it.
That's exactly what it is, and I never got a chance to finish it. I love the Tall Tale stuff from Sea of Thieves. I actually posted about that in 2019. I flew out to Rare and like I spent a couple of days with them. Just
I remember that,
yeah, like it was great, and like I think that's what the game needed was some kind of narrative spin, and they nailed it with that. But they perfected it with the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. So I hope this is not the end of Sea of Thieves in its current state. Like I want more narrative stuff, so hopefully they can branch out. I mean, now that there's a huge, even larger player base with PlayStation, and I'm assuming we'll probably see it on the Switch too. Perfect opportunity to just deliver something crazy. Like just do Pirates of the Caribbean original movie spin-off based in the game. Do something original. Like I would love to see that. Like they nailed the characters. I think they did justice to the entire series.
Yeah, no, they honestly did. I agree with you that expanding onto PlayStation, and I'd be shocked if it didn't come to Switch. Well, Switch 2, I guess. But yeah, it just seems like there's just so much untapped potential to add content in now and expand from there, because now you're gonna have the largest player base you've ever had. So
I mean,
why not take advantage of it? Yeah.
Look at the game on PlayStation. It's the number one game on PlayStation. Rare's super happy with what the pre-order numbers were. They were telling Court when he was previewing he actually played the game with Joe Neat from Rare last week, and they were really happy that the game finally was on PlayStation because it's the first Rare game on PlayStation, which is a huge thing.
Yeah,
it's crazy that they've never been on PlayStation, and I am just flabbergasted that they've kind of put themselves in this narrow lane right now, because like they could be doing so many things, and like I'm happy they're doing Sea of Thieves, but they're really talented devs. I want to see them branch out and take advantage of the fact that they have a huge fan base on PlayStation now. So make a multi-platform game. Do something. I want to see what they can do. And given the unfortunate incident this week at Microsoft, I mean, I know that it's not likely we'll see that, but I mean, I hope that the leadership pivots to more multi-platform games where they're not just making, Starfield exclusive. They're making the next Rare game multi-platform, day and date on every console. And I think that I don't want to just go off topic too much. I think Xbox needs to finally realize that they are better as a publisher than a console developer. Like they should just do what Sega did. Drop out of the console market. I feel support your creatives. let them make games. They're good at making games. They have some really talented devs. Like, can you imagine if Hellblade 2 was on PlayStation?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I don't know, I think, yeah, there's definitely some sort of restructuring that needs to be done, and not to
There's
go on a
something has to happen.
huge
Something has
diatribe of it all, but I feel like there is also, like a best of both worlds approach where something like Sea of Thieves can flourish on
It's
PlayStation,
just
take
proof.
advantage
It's
of
just
that.
proof.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but then there's also the importance of holding on to certain IP and certain
100%. But
I
that's
think
what Halo is. That's what
exactly,
Halo is. That's what
exactly.
Forza is. And they have their own IPs, but like stuff that was always multi-platform should always be multi-platform. Taking Hellblade 1 and then putting it on PlayStation and Switch, and now it's like, well, it's ours now, so no, you're not getting it.
Mm,
I think we will eventually see it. It probably will be a time exclusive, but my I don't want to say it's my hope, but it's like my idea is just at this point we kind of know what Xbox has done in the past couple years. They're better at publishing software and just getting the games out because like the consoles, I mean, I love my Xbox. It's been a while since I've turned it on. It's probably been a couple months.
mm,
I don't even look at it anymore. I mean, there's nothing to play. The
yeah.
occasional time I'll boot up and play Hi-Fi Rush and RIP Tango because like that really nailed them. But that's it. Or even Starfield. I know the Starfield update's coming out in next week. I'm gonna go back and play that because I
Yeah.
want to. I cleared that game 3 times. I love Starfield. It wasn't obviously as good as Skyrim or
Yeah.
Fallout 4, but I mean they're big IPs. Like I will revisit, but it's other than that, like there's nothing really going on. Like even Game Pass, I'm subscribed. I'm probably gonna cancel. There's nothing that's really calling me.
Mm.
That's not being done better on PlayStation.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I guess segueing off that, on just as we quickly approach the release of Senua Saga Hellblade 2, I've started going back to
yeah,
the
now we're
original
on
Hellblade,
this.
Senua's Sacrifice. I want to reserve my full thoughts on the game for like a separate episode. I'm planning to bring in Dave, and I've got a couple other, or at least one or two other people that I know are actively playing it now as like a
Yeah,
refresh. Because yeah, I only played it once over when it first came to Xbox,
it's been a while for
2018 or
me too.
whatever. And while I still remember it for being what it was, very impressive visually, stylistically, I love the performances, the sound design, everything. I don't really remember the story or even like beat to beat what happens in the game. So I think
Yeah,
playing that leading into Hellblade 2 will be a nice kind of refresher. But yeah, I'm going through that slowly but surely. It's not a big game. It's
right,
like 6 hours. I already have all the achievements and everything, so I'm not really focusing on finding all the collectibles. Is more just get through it, experience it for what it is, have the headphones on the entire time, get immersed in that
right.
world that Ninja Theory's created. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Hellblade 2. I think everything we've seen from it has been astounding. So I have full nothing but full faith in Ninja Theory to come out swinging. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean we're what a fortnight away from it. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I mean, to this day, I still think that initial Hellblade 2 trailer is probably one of my favorite trailers. That
Mm,
just like sizzle, it gets sizzle. Like I, I don't think they've been able to match in any of their trailers since. But like that initial trailer was just so insane and so intense, and it just like it filled me with this desire to play the sequel. So like I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. The tech is insane. The tech
yeah.
that Ninja Theory has put in this game is crazy, and I know that they've got some hybrid game that's kind of I think it's called Project Mara.
Yes. Yes. That's
Project
right.
Mara. So yeah. So if it's something like that and they're kind of using the experimental tech here, I'm looking forward to it because like
Yeah.
it's very outlandish. It feels very outlandish to me just watching the trailer. I'm actually looking at it right now. Project Mara looks insane. And then Ninja Theories, I don't know, they've never had a bad game to me. So like I know that whatever this game ends up being in a couple weeks, it's gonna be huge for them. So I really hope that they succeed.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, looking forward to putting that like recap episode out very soon. People can look out for
Yeah,
that. And hey, if you guys have never played Hellblade, check it out and join us for for the kind of a re-review, I guess. Or if you haven't, or if you have played the game and are itching to kind of go back, do it and join us alongside us. So you
that's a
can
perfect book club episode, actually. So I mean, yeah, I
seriously,
mean,
yeah. Yeah, so maybe boot it up on Xbox Game Pass or go back to, PlayStation and play it there.
I
Either
think I might have
way,
to do the same. I have no time to play it, but like I'm kind of enticed to play it right now because like it's so short. I think you said it's like 6 hours. I could
6
probably do
hours,
that on
7
the
hours,
weekend.
yeah.
And now
Honestly,
that
yeah, that's what I've been doing, just kinda chipping away at it this week, and I'm almost done.
how am I supposed to stop Fallout 76? Like I have Fallout 76 primed and ready. Oh man, how do you do it? I don't even know. Are you still playing Fallout 76?
I've taken a momentary break from it only because yeah, I had an itch to go back to Final Fantasy, and then, yeah, I wanted to get into Hellblade, but I'll go back to Fallout 76. It's a nice like I've said before,
Yeah.
it's kinda become this comfort game where I just boot it up whenever I don't have anything going on, or I'm just sitting in the morning, I'm like, "Oh, I'm having a coffee on the weekend. I'm just gonna play an hour or 2 of something," and Fallout really doesn't demand a whole lot of my time, so it's nice. Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna have to get look into it. I mean, everyone's just been saying like it's such a great little um experimental version of Fallout. Like apparently the Appalachian Trail is really cool.
it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's what I want to see because like I mean, it seems like it's a pretty big game space. So like I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to like set timers for all my games. Like I play X game for 1 hour, and then once the
Sure.
timer clicks, I can switch over. But like that's what it feels like this year, 2024. I have to set. I feel like I do have to set timers and just to get the breadth of what's going on. And we're not even talking about games that are still not even out.
I know.
Um, I'm still looking forward to a couple of games that are launching this month, and I feel like I don't know. I might have to take a vacation just to play. I feel like I
Maybe.
will need like a week just to not I bunker down in a fallout shelter and play
That's
games.
it. Yep. Yeah, just immerse yourself in a vault and play Fallout 76 for a week or 2.
And yeah, Hades too. I just got a copy of that. Like
Nice.
it's like how do people find the time? Like
I don't
I
know.
wish.
I don't know. For me, Hades has never stuck to me. Like, I've tried the original Hades many, many times, and it just never stuck. So even I you know, I saw
I understand.
so
That's what
many
was
friends get excited for Hades 2 in early access. I was like, "Eh, I'll wait."
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I bought it when it launched on Epic Games and like it didn't click for me, but then I don't know, I gave it a second try months later and it was just like it was like that moment where Dan DeVito's like, "Oh my god, I get it." And like I
Right,
just like
yeah.
I just
I wish I
watched it.
had that moment.
It's just kind of like Hollow Knight. Like I never connected with Hollow Knight as
Sure.
much as you did. But when I did, it was just like, yeah, it took a long time. It took me like I think 3 years to finally get through it. But like once I did, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now I know. Now I kind of know. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's an acquired roguelike. And that's fine. I mean, totally fair. Prince of Persia's out in a week
It's
in
true.
early access. So like I do want to play that.
Me too.
I feel like that's kind of more a mainline standardized take on the genre. So like I feel that'll
Right.
probably click with more people.
Yep.
Hollow Knight and Hades are not are they are big games, but like their mechanics are very specific to their games. And then whereas I feel like what Rogue Prince of Persia is doing is kind of like you've played Dead Cells, you kind of know what you're getting into. And Dead Cells is pretty much a standard game. Like it
Mhm.
handles well, it plays well, you know what you're getting with that game. I feel like, and it's there's no hidden mechanics, there's nothing like that. And I feel like Hades and Hollow Knight have hidden mechanics and stuff like
Oh,
that. People
huge.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is. I think.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair to say. Yeah, the other game I'm looking forward to, and I don't know if you're planning on getting into it at all, is the Marvel Rivals alpha test that's coming out this weekend. Got
I'm
my code
trying
set
to,
up.
yeah. Yeah, you know what? I need a code. So if someone can give me a code, I've been trying. I asked a couple people. I want to
Okay.
play Marvel Rivals. I want to stomp as Loki on Hulk's head, and I want to like. I just want to. be a superhero for a weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it. I want it to be good, but we'll see. We'll
is
see.
it live tomorrow? Is that when it's happening, or is it
Friday.
today? Oh,
So,
so
yeah,
2 days.
day of recording, it will be tomorrow, or day that this episode is out, it will be tomorrow, if you're
Okay.
listening to it, when the episode releases. If not, yeah, it lasts, I guess, a week, so even if you, need a couple days to find a code, I think you
I'll
still have
probably
time.
get one. I
Yeah.
reached out to their publisher, and I feel like I'm probably gonna get one. But man, I'm just discussing what's happening with this month launch, and you're saying, you know, actually, we've been discussing the games coming out, and like I'm just looking, and man, we have a lot of games coming out this month. Like I actually I've either pre-ordered or I'm gonna buy.
Mhm.
And World of Goo, I don't know if you played the original, but
Yes.
that's launching this month.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously Hellblade,
Yep.
Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder is what I've
Oh, yeah,
pre-ordered
you were
on
talking about that
Steam.
last week. Yep.
RKGK, which is Rakugaki, it's like a 3D action platformer that's very reminiscent of like games from the Dreamcast
Oh, cool.
era. There's a bunch of previews online. Like I read them and I reached out to Gearbox Publishing because they're publishing it, and like I asked them like I want to play it. Multiverse is out this month,
Hell
so
yes. I cannot wait.
and that new trailer with the Joker, I'm so glad Mark Hamill's
Mark
back.
Hamill's back. We are locked and loaded for
Yeah,
that one. I
so like
cannot
that,
wait.
and that's it. And then we have Paper Mario. We have um God, there's just so many games launching this month. Nine
Mhm.
Souls, which is like I believe it's like a Metroidvania. I think Dave was talking about it. I think we published something, but look up Nine Souls. Like he actually posted like a top games you should play on Steam Next Fest, and he posted about it.
Okay.
He plays this cool looking Ronin fox, and like it looks really cool. It's Red Candle Games. I think they made some game that was banned. Um,
Hmm.
Devotion. So they're the publisher that first person horror game Devotion that was banned because it had like controversies relating to the prime Chinese premiere. So this was something like a couple years ago. But yeah,
Oh, yes, 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 I remember this.
yeah. So they're the developer publisher, and just look at this game. It looks insane. Like I love what it looks like, and that's 7 games right there. I'm looking forward to. On
Yep.
top of now that we've got Marvel Rivals coming out and other games I'm playing. So like I don't know where I'm going to find time, but I'll do it. I'm gonna do. Oh, and Little Kitty Big City. Matt is going insane for this game. He asked me to cover it. He wants to cover this game. This looks like a Steve and Matt ass game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on my radar. Whether or not I get around to it, that's a different story. But it looks cute.
I mean, if Matt wants to play it, that kind of tells me it's worthwhile because Matt
That's
has good
true.
taste.
He does. Unless it comes to, hanging out with us, then,
Well, then he's just
whatever.
well. You know what? To be fair, he does have a fresh baby, but
Sure.
but
That's
I'm not.
his fault though.
That's his
You
fault.
know what I mean? Like, that's on him.
That's true. And you know what? You know what? I am gonna shame Matt and Court and Dave. So I'm gonna buy you all Palm Pilot calendars. You're not even worth getting a paper one. I'm gonna make you deal with a Palm Pilot and dealing with that calendar because that's the only way you guys know how to do it is through difficulty. I
Yeah.
can't believe these guys actually burned us.
For shame.
No,
For shame.
that's fine. That's fine. You know what? We don't need them. We
No,
don't need any of them.
no. We just proved it. We did a really great episode. We don't need them. Bobby, as we start wrapping up this episode, where can people keep up with you online, keep up with the website, and all that jazz?
You can find me, B. Pachalides, everywhere. You can find a link tree linking to the website, our podcast, our YouTube in my profile. So find me, find that link, and follow us everywhere.
Perfect. And as for myself, you can find me across the internet at svigvari. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, I co-conducted a great interview with the Serious Bros,
Yeah.
talking about their game coming to PlayStation, Switch, Mac OS. So go check that out. And yeah, as well, we're going to do the Hellblade Senua Sacrifice episode very soon. So keep an eye out for that if you guys are looking forward to Hellblade 2. But other than that, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.